I was young, but I was making this child 9, but putting her back. It's sort of complicated. I put her back to when Marianne was really 5, and we lived on Strawberry Hill. But it's a 9-year-old going on 10 child that all this is happening to. But the Depression was a very important part of our lives as children, and learning more about it as we grew older, a lot of things like a puzzle that kind of fits into place. For example, one of my teachers at Hart School, the school that I went to, 4th grade, Mrs. Dunn, and her husband had served in World War II and had come back gassed, World War I, and had come back gassed. And he and a bunch of other veterans would sit in front of the town hall downtown in Stamford with the sunshine. I always remember that, across from the bus stop. And they'd just go down there every day and just sit there together. And we didn't know quite what was going on, and it was only till years later that I understood. But World War I was just a decade earlier. And a few weeks ago, I realized the Civil War, the time from the Civil War to what's going on in this story is the same time frame as that story to right now. So it's really uncanny. It is a history book. It is a book of history. And but the Depression was so many things. Families being on relief, hobos coming to your back door, and mothers feeding them. People, that happened all the time, and they were always fed. And we realized we did know we were lucky, but at the same time, with a mother like mine, and I think a lot of mothers, there was always that poor, poor, poor thing in your head and how lucky you were to have food. And so that whole business about Allie and Danny only having a nickel to get Good Humors, where all the other children were given dimes, that is straight out of my childhood. And when I got the free stick and could get a coconut Good Humor, well, you know, I've never forgotten it, and I can still taste that coconut Good Humor because I was probably the only one I had as a kid. I did some research because I wanted to get things straight, dates and things a little bit. I didn't bring as much politics into the book as I remembered, because I remembered being the only child on the street, our family, who was for Roosevelt, and all the others were for Landon. So that is in the 1936 election. And being made to feel a real pariah because of that. And the whole dirty Jew business, it didn't take place the way I have it take place. But it was certainly, those names that I was called were, that's just the tip of the iceberg. And so that it was very, I think for people who lived then, those were the days when a lot of Jewish families changed their names, changed their religions. We were very aware of that in Stamford because it was quite a tight-knit Jewish community, but we were a real minority. The neighborhoods that I grew up in, and very strong, large Catholic population. Most of my friends were Catholic, and then Protestants as well. But it's the Italians and the Catholics that we lived among much more, and some of them, I mean, there are so many families that I remember with such warmth and would really so love to track down, but you don't know whether they're now, or, you know, whether they're still alive. But it was, it was such a neighborly feeling place to live then. The Grecos on one side, once we moved to West Broad Street, when I was indeed 10 years old, an old lady on the other side that we definitely decided she was a witch. We knew it, we knew it. We would race across her yard, you know, yelling, "Witch, witch!" Poor old lady, I don't know what she was, you know, thinking, but scared us to death.